Hey everybody, it's Tom from the Donohues Marvelous Life. How y'all doing today? If you've thought about retirement and you're planning your retirement, then this is the place for you. We're going to go into some tips and strategies about what we're doing and take you on the road to retirement with us.
Hello, everybody.
Hey everybody, how you doing today?
If you don't already know, my name is Kathy.
My name's Tom.
And today you're watching the Donohues Marvelous Life Road to Retirement.
The road to retirement. We're going to talk about tips and strategies we've learned along the way, and we're going to jump right into it if that's okay. So the overarching question we have today is, what does retirement look like to you?
Good one, Tom.
And what does retirement look like to me? Well, it means having a chance to do more of what I want to do and not to be working all the time.
And this could look different for everyone.
It will. It will.
Just figuring out, what does retirement look like for you?
Because this is important to ask. And when we started this journey some time back, we said, what does it look like? So we had to start actually to talk to each other about what it looks like and what we're thinking about. And one of the things to share is we're thinking about teaching.
Yes.
We're teaching children, adults, English.
We're thinking about TEFL courses and getting certified and learning how to do that. So that's what retirement is going to look like for us. And think about what it's going to look like for you.
That's right. That's right.
And what's the next one?
The next one is, what is your dream? And a lot of people say, well, Donohue Marvelous Life, what's my dream? Do I have a dream about retirement? Oh, maybe you do. We do. And if you watch some of our last videos, we've talked about moving overseas.
Yes.
Which we're planning to do.
Or, I won't say definitively, because people think about moving overseas to Europe or something, but we're thinking about, I would say, immigrating to another country.
Okay.
How about that?
All right. That sounds good. Immigrating to another country.
Yeah. And what is your dream? Figure it out. This is the time before you retire to figure out what is your dream. And what's our next one, Tom?
The next one is we really came to a realization. And the realization we came to was that we had to change the way we're thinking. Change our attitudes, our beliefs, our thoughts. Because we're going to be going into a whole new world. And it's the world of retirement.
Yes. And I think from a social work perspective, a lot of people that retire aren't really prepared emotionally and not so much financially. Sometimes they're not financially prepared to retire. And people aren't really thinking about the toll on your finances, your emotional health, and just what are you going to do. So that's something to think about.
Right, because I have a story I'll tell you real quick here. So I had a business some years back, and I was in with a business partner of mine at a meeting, and he says, hey, you're an IT guy, which he was talking to me. He says, I'm an IT guy at the time. And he says, well, you're going to be an IT guy the rest of your life. Is that the way you're going to think? Or are you going to change the way you think and have yourself open to new possibilities? And I thought about that. I was offended, because I'm a macho guy, right? So I was offended at first, but then I realized, I was like, well, you know what? He's got a point there. And as I grew and I went along, I said, you know what? He's right.
Yeah. So changing your thinking, especially if you're thinking about immigrating to a new country, a new culture, a new lifestyle, a way of doing things. So that's something to think about. Getting ready and preparing yourself for that change. And what's the next thing on our list?
So the why. We said why. Why do we want to retire the way we want to retire? And we had to have some beliefs set up to kind of determine that. And our beliefs for us was that we wanted to give back to people.
Right.
We want to help people. We want to give back to people. We want to have a different way of giving back to people than we've had working a 9-to-5 job, for an example, and just having something we can give to other generations, next people down the road, which we feel like, she and I feel, because we have an education background, we feel like education is the greatest way you can benefit the second, third, fourth generations going down the road, and that's what we want to think about.
Right, and that's something that we want to do. As you plan for the retirement, think about what's your next chapter going to look like?
Right.
What do you plan to do? And like he said, the why of retirement. What else do you plan on doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's our last one, Tom?
So this is learning something new every day.
My favorite.
Because,
and I'm sorry. I'll talk about that one.
Sure.
I think it's about 7, maybe 8 years ago. It's called the London Taxi Driver Study.
Oh, tell me about that.
And they said that the London taxi drivers, after a certain age, it was a belief that part of your brain couldn't grow anymore. And that was their part for learning and retaining information. And they realized that through taking x-rays of the brains of those London taxi drivers, that the part of their brain that's supposed to stop growing at a certain age was continuing to grow, because the guys that want to be taxi drivers in London they have to pass these extensive tests of all the streets, all the corners, all this stuff, and they were learning so much information that a part of their brain that doesn't usually grow after a certain age was still growing, because they were able to still retain and take in so much information. And that's what we're saying. Be active. Don't believe the hype that, you're too old to learn something new. Learning, reading, participating helps stimulate the brain and keep you going far longer than anyone has ever thought. And we're going to do that. We're going to take college classes. We're going to learn how to draw, paint, all those things to keep our brains active, but also...
And if you're going overseas, learning a new language.
Yes, exactly. That's learning a new language.
We're trying to do that now. We've got some books. We've got grades 1 through 3 in Spanish, for example.
Hola.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás? And we're learning that.
Yes. And we're just making sure that we're keeping our brains active and our bodies. And we will continue to do that. So, you guys, Tom's going to do just a rundown of what we talked about, give you that list again.
There's a list again.
And something you to think about, okay? Go ahead.
So first one is, what does retirement look like to you? Clarify that for yourself. Number 2, what is your dream? You have a dream about how you want to retire. Number 3, can you or will you change your thinking to prepare for that new retirement life? Why do you want to retire the way you want to retire? Clarify that for yourself. And the last one is, are you learning something new every day? And that includes about retirement. And we'll go into future videos on that.
Especially about retirement.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Learn something new. But you guys, we hope that these 5 tips and strategies about preparing for retirement helped you out. Please like and subscribe. And stay tuned for our next videos for the Donohues Marvelous Life Road to Retirement.
Which will be every 2 weeks, by the way, in case you're new to this channel.
And we will see you next time.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.